Hey guys, what's going on? So today I've been working on setting up some new arrows that I just got in, and got about 3/4 of the way through it, and I'm like, man, I need to be shooting a video. So just want to go over real quick kind of the arrows that I really like to use, and just kind of how I get them after I order them, I get them in, and how I set them up. Just thought it'd be a fun little video to do. I also have another product, another company that that I'd like to give a shout out to, that I really like. So first off, let's get into these arrows. All right, so here's my arrows that I get. I prefer to get green shaft arrows. I get 90% of all of my bow fishing arrows, line, you name it. I try to go to Carp Cartel. Matt Carlson, he's the guy that owns Carp Cartel, and I highly recommend, man. Matt just gives over the top customer support and service. So please, man, if you're unsure who to go to buy some bow fishing stuff, check out Carp Cartel. These are the arrows that I get from him. He's got a huge assortment of different colors, white, black, pink, purple, yellow, green, you name it. So then after you figure out what shaft you want to get, then the next thing that you're going to want to decide is what tip you're going to use. Again, there are tons and tons of different bow fishing arrow tips that you can get. And to be honest with you, some guys say, oh, what's the best one to use? That's all dependent, in my opinion, on what you're doing. If you're just going to be out shooting gar, I don't think it's necessary to put on a grapple, a 3-barb grapple tip. I would just use the small 2-barb like AMS tips or something like that. But if you know that you're going to be getting into larger fish, you might want to consider the big 3-barb interlock grapples. Now, another one that I really like, that I think is right there in the middle as far as performance. So what I'm saying is, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way, because I think, in my opinion, the arrow tip that I like to use is good all around, and that is the 4-barb TNT. I really like this arrow tip. It's good all around. It's got really good penetration. The tip on these things is just super sharp, and you can resharpen them real easily. If you hit a bunch of rocks and they start getting dull, hit those things on the grinder, sharpen them back up, and you're back in the game. You can reuse them. I think they're great that way. The other thing that I really like about these is how quick they are, and how easy they are. Once you've shot a fish, they just screw on. That quick, that easy. You shoot through the fish, unscrew it. It's about, I don't know, I think 1, 2, 3, 4 turns, and that thing is on and off. It's super quick. Where the grapples are the same way. They're pretty quick. You unscrew that tip on certain types of the grapples, but they're just, sometimes you have trouble with them, and the tip is really small. Sometimes you can lose that tip. Where these, the whole thing comes off. It's pretty hard to lose that guy right there. It's really easy to hang on to that and not lose it. So I really like these 4-barb TNTs. The other thing about these that I really like is the price point. I believe you can buy the tip itself and the ferrule that it goes into. Don't quote me, but I think it's for about $10. That's pretty inexpensive, really, considering the price point of some of the other bow fishing tips. The ferrule, there's the ferrule. Now, I had these crimped on. When you order these, there's a spot where you can select if you want Matt to crimp those on for you or not. I like to have Matt go ahead and crimp those on. If you don't want, and so all it is, he just puts it in a machine and it crimps it on there. If you choose not to do that, you can get them in and put the ferrule on yourself. If you want to glue it on and pin it, whatever you want to do, just lots of options there. But this arrow and these points are my go-to. I really like them. Not gonna lie, it took me about a year to come around. My buddy Steve, he fell in love with these right away. I wasn't sold right out of the box. I was in love with interlocks. I really liked them, and I still love interlock. I use them all the time. But for the price point and for the ability, I think TNTs are the way to go. So next thing, when you get your arrow, you got to put your nock on it. It comes, your arrow shaft will come with a beveled edge on it, and it'll also come pre-drilled. If you run slides, it'll come pre-drilled so you can put your slide stop on there. But you need to put your nock on there. So this is one thing. If you order your arrows and you ask to have the nocks put on ahead of time, I have had problems with my nocks coming off. You know, you shoot, and next thing you know, you'll have a nock left on your bowstring because the nock came off or it gets broke off or whatever. So I like to put them on myself. They don't look the greatest when I'm done because I use quite a bit of glue. I use either, right now what I'm using is Gorilla, this right here, the Gorilla super glue. This is kind of a gel. It's a lot easier to control this than just the real, just the liquid form. That liquid form runs all over, so I like to get the gel, and I'm using the Gorilla super glue. I also have over here Loctite. A lot of guys use this stuff, the Loctite super glue. Either one, as far as I'm concerned, is adequate. If anybody has any other types of glue or methods, you know, leave some comments down there. So I just take, and I get kind of carried away with it here. I'm gonna run some glue all the way around the outside, and it's gonna run down. I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna take my nock, I'm gonna put it on there, I'm gonna slide it, I'm gonna pull it back off and put it back on and press. And then what I do, if I can get it in the shot here, there we go. I run all that glue that came out the bottom there, I take my finger and I run it around so that that glue is actually all the way up here on the nock and all the way down onto the arrow shaft itself. So that way I not only have glue on the inside making contact with the nock and the shaft, I also have around the outside. Some guys might suggest that little bit can throw the arrow off one way or the other. I've never experienced that. I don't know. Nobody may even say that, but either way, when I do that, when I make sure that glue is all the way around the outside, coated around that outside, nice and smooth like that, I don't have a lot of nocks that come off. Does it look super great? No, not really. I'm more interested in performance than how it looks. So that's how I put my nocks on. Also, I run green shafts with blue nocks. I don't know why. I like it. Whatever. I'm all into. You got to look cool. So yeah, that right there, that is my arrow setup that I use. If anybody has any thoughts, ideas, smart-ass comments, whatever, leave it in the comment section below. So yeah, moving on, we'll move on to the company or product that I just got in. So I'll get back to you in just a second. All right, so I am rocking if I can get in front of the camera here, wow, there we go, found it. I am rocking a Resi-Nater Bowfishing equipment shirt because I just got in my new grips for my G-Nat. These are custom made grips for my G-Nat bowfishing bow. Check out Resi-Nater bowfishing equipment. They make a pretty big variety of bowfishing equipment accessories. Like they make arrow rests. They make several different styles of arrow rest. They make the enclosed arrow rest. They make the shelf rest. They make a half rest. Resi-Nater, those guys make, like I said, several different ones of those. And they also make bowfishing reel caps. The cap itself, I believe they dip those or something. So you can have like your cap, your rest, and your grips. You can have them all the same color or design. That's kind of the cool thing about Resi-Nater is all the different designs and colors and everything that you can do. You can really accessorize your bow with some of their products. So here is, if you guys haven't heard of them, Resi-Nater bowfishing equipment. Check those guys out. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I just want to give a shout out to them, just like I did Matt over at Carp Cartel. Just really want to support all of the bowfishing equipment providers, you know, all the guys that just working their asses off every day, you know, to try and give us great products at the best prices that they can. A lot of those guys started out and are possibly even still, you know, working out of their garage at best, you know. So just really give those guys a lot of support and just keep those guys going, especially now, you know, with the economy the way it is. Those guys need all the support they can get. So get over to them and help them guys out and get your stuff through them guys. Man, I don't have anything else right now that I want to talk about. Just want to talk about the arrows and Resi-Nater. So quick video. I'll be back with more. Talk to you guys later.